There are a total of 934 different moves in the core Pokemon series. That's more moves than there are people in Vatican City, so naturally some of these moves were left in the dust, especially with Gen 8 cutting the number of total moves available. Instead of just listing a random set of moves, I'm going to go through each generation and talk about what I think is the most obscure move from each gen. Starting off with Gen 1, I have a question for you. Do you not like knowing how strong your moves are? Let me introduce you to Psywave, a move that deals anywhere from 1 HP to 1.5 times the user's level. Naturally, as a wonky move in Gen 1, it has not one but two game-breaking glitches associated with when used in Link battles. The first is that Psywave can roll a 0 on the opponent's side, but not on the user's side, which can cause the battle to desynchronize. The second is that a level 0, 1, or 171 Pokemon uses Psywave, the game will soft lock. Due to the way the equation for this move is written, the game will continuously generate invalid numbers and just go on forever. Also, this move was originally the signature move of Misdreavus for some reason. Basically nothing about this move is normal, but I'm not sure if many people notice that it hasn't returned since Gen 7. For Gen 2's most obscure move, I've chosen the inspiration for the thumbnail, Present.
Dude, check out what came for you in the mail.
Oh yeah! What is it?
Present, the signature move of Delibird, will either have one of three different base powers or heal the target for 1/4 of their health. Present also had a very odd glitch in its debut generation. According to the types of the Pokemon using and getting targeted by the move, the level, attack, and defense variables of the damage formula would get replaced by the index numbers used for the types. As you can see, this change to the damage formula can result in some interesting results. If this was possible on Showdown, the Salt YouTubers would have a field day. Thankfully, that is not our reality, but even without glitches, the move is still pretty entertaining. Game Freak even gave the move the Iron Bundle. Between Present, Psywave, and Metronome, you could have the holy trinity of RNG. For Gen 3's most obscure move, this isn't a move you're likely to ever see in competitive play. Camouflage, which was introduced as the signature move of Staryu, changes the user's type depending on the environment they're in. There were originally 5 types Camouflage could change a user into. By Gen 6, there were 12 different types available, which mostly made sense. Now, Camouflage isn't particularly useful in competitive play since it defaults to Normal type, but I could see it being used as a knockoff Terrestrialization in terrain. You could also use this on Florges if you're desperate to make it a Grass type so you could finally use its ability. So yeah, not really a competitive move, but a neat one nonetheless. Have you ever wanted to use cards as a weapon?
Really?
Yep.
Okay, great. Let's talk about Trump Card. This is a goofy move that gets stronger as its PP depletes. It starts as a measly 40 base power, while in its last use has a whopping 200 base power. The problem with this move is that you have to use 4 weak moves in order to get just one strong move. Sure, it can't miss, but that doesn't fix the main problem with this move. Now, Trump Card doesn't have any crazy bugs, but it is rather curious that Magearna used to learn this at level 97. Does this prove the long-standing rumor that Magearna is secretly a gambling addict? I can't say for certain, but I do know one thing.
It's time to
Waiter, more bad normal type moves. For Gen 5, I've chosen Chip Away, a move that I had never even heard of before making this video. Chip Away is a physical normal type move with 70 base power that ignores defense and evasion changes. Yes, it ignores not only boosts but drops too. I wouldn't blame you for not knowing about this one, because it sucks. Sure, it's the only move to have this set of properties, but why would you ever prefer this to something else? Being a normal type hinders this move as well, since normal is generally a poor coverage type. If you want to hit through defense boost, just use something like Sacred Sword like Gallade. If you want to not miss, you can use Trump Card. This move sucks, so only use it in competitive if you're a twisted sicko. In Gen 6, Game Freak set on a quest to buff grass types. Grassy terrain is good, but unfortunately everything else they tried ranges from mediocre to bad. Flower Shield is a move that definitely accounts for the bad side of things. At first glance, a +1 defense boost to all grass types doesn't seem terrible, but look at the users. Half of them are fake grass types, and the grass types you are here, I mean, come on. Moreover, you could unintentionally buff your opponents with this move too. I guess you could try to have some fun with this and make the strongest Go-Goat ever seen by stacking every grass type buff, so at least this move isn't Chip Away levels of forgettable. Other than that, I would abide by the description of Flower Shield in Gen 9.
Sorry.
Alright, Symbiosis, step aside, because Pyukumuku's signature move Purify is the real Symbiosis in Pokemon. Purify is a move that heals the target's status condition and heals Pyukumuku for half its health. However, the move fails if the target has no status condition. Either both Pokemon involved gain something, or neither are benefited, which is literally what Symbiosis is. When powered up into Z Purify, the move also grants Pyukumuku an Omni Boost. which is pretty funny since Pyukumuku's Wobbuffet-esque shtick means it really only uses its defensive stats. Technically it uses its speed stat, but boosting Pyukumuku's base 5 speed is like watching a 10-hour video of paint drying at 1.5 times speed. Competitively speaking, you won't see this move from Pyuk since it'd rather just use Recover and watch its enemy die a slow, excruciating deaths from Toxic. Now for another move that I really don't think many people have ever heard of, Tar Shot, the signature move of Coalossal. The effect of Tar Shot is twofold. Firstly, it lowers speed by 1 stage. Secondly, it doubles the effectiveness of fire type moves on the target. Now thematically this is a fun move, and having 2 effects is nice since it doesn't do any damage. However, this move doesn't really mesh with what Coalossal wants to do. In singles, Coalossal functions best as a hazard setter, spinner, and burn spreader with Flame Body. In doubles in Gen 8, it was a very common Dynamax user with Steam Engine, Weakness Policy, and a partner to activate those. Neither of these sets have a good reason to use Tar Shots since they have better uses for their limited move slots, so the move is almost never used. Maybe Coalossal could be paired with a Feather Dance user to make an example out of British colonial tax collectors. Otherwise, I don't see a good use for Tar Shot. Now for our last obscure move, the signature move of Spidops, Silk Trap. Silk Trap protects Spidops from damaging moves and lowers the speed of the attacker by 1 stage if they make contact.
In case you haven't noticed, you've fallen right into my trap.
It's pretty much like King's Shield, but instead of transforming into a defensive bulwark, it just stays around 1 bug. There are 2 reasons this move is rarely seen. Reason 1 is that Spidops is rarely seen. The second is that when Spidops is seen, its job is to get down Sticky Web and any other hazards it can manage, then die. So staying alive doesn't really do a lot for Spidops, nor does slowing down its opponents since, yeah. Despite being the trap Pokemon, Spidops rarely has a reason to use its signature trap. Well, that wraps up my list. Here's my runner-up list for moves that didn't quite make the cut. If there are any obscure moves you think I missed, let me know. Between 934 options, there's a lot of room for interpretation. If you enjoyed this, why not subscribe? I'm nearing 1,000 subscribers, and I'd be a happy little fellow if you added to that number. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.